Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of TRB Collectibles. My name's Tom and I will be your guide through this yard sale.
What's Leo the Limo?
If you're thinking what I'm thinking, the gentleman at the next table is not Santa, unfortunately. We came across this yard sale as a so-called estate sale. We went looking for estate sales and found out that this was a garage and house clear-out of a former family member. When we pulled up, we expected to go in the house in the garage, but all the family members moved all of the stuff into the front yard, making it a yard sale in which they were selling all the belongings themselves and not through an estate sale company. So yes, technically you can call it an estate sale,
I got a bunch of
but in
Stephen
reality,
King.
it's a yard sale. Now when it comes to books, it's all about the author and the style of book that you get, whether it be first edition, second edition, hardback, or paperback. When it comes to the paperback of the Stephen King books do quite well, whether it be on their own, depending on the copy, or as a lot. In this case, I'm looking for multiple copies of Stephen King to see if I can get these books for a really low price and sell them in a lot as an auction, and probably do pretty well. I left it behind because I didn't find too many Stephen King books. I was surprised to see matchbooks. I don't often find them. A lot of people collect matchbooks, especially from where they've been, almost like a souvenir, depending on the bar or the location. And the older and the more rare the matchbook, even if it has matches in it, the more profit you can get. Hey look, a Bennigan's matchbook. Does anybody watch South Park? Well, matchbooks can be highly collectible to some, so if you can find them, try to look them up. They're not really worth it on their own, depending on what you find. They're kind of like postcards. You really have to go through every one of them to see which ones have value. Going back over this, I don't know why I passed up this big mouth Billy Bass. I probably could have gotten it for a decent price, and it sells pretty well if it does work. Also, it's a classic. Now, speaking of collectibles, just like the matchbooks, people collect John Deere. You always want to check, just because you might not know, you might actually find something with value. The whole tub was $50, each piece was worth $10. I did look them up, but I really didn't find anything that would outweigh the shipping cost, so I decided to leave them behind. I also saw these vintage razors. People collect these as well, but also still use them. You just want to make sure before you buy them that they're in really decent condition, since somebody's going to be shaving their face with them, and see what they go for on eBay. Not every one of them is worth it, but you never know what you might find if you look it up. So I found this vintage camera on the table over to the right that I'll pick up just in a moment. I go ahead and start doing my research, looking it up, looking at the components and compartments to make sure that it's all in pretty decent shape. What I don't check is the price sticker that says $50. How do I miss all that but check the camera itself? Also with those, you want to check the lens, because sometimes it's not to the original camera, and the lens could potentially have more value than the physical camera portion. So, it doesn't hurt to look it up.
Chris, did you check out the shed? Chris, did you check out the shed?
Have you ever been to a yard sale, estate sale, thrift store, and you really just haven't found anything, but you're just looking for more? That was me just now.
Good, thank you.
I had thought that this shed was filled with items, but it wasn't. I was looking for something that just wasn't there. All the items seemed okay, but I really just couldn't find what I wanted. I wound up walking away with that Game Boy Color Mortal Kombat game. I didn't pay the sticker price of $5. They wound up taking $2, and I walked away with that. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to click that like button. And if you have some spare time, check out some of these other videos. Thanks!